gon' do the work till the end come. Tell 'em, tell 'em, tell 'em.
I do a lot of preaching, but I don't do no talking. Found out I was a lion, now I don't do no barking. They want me in the dirt, chained in a stone coffin. But face to face, then they get to talking like it's an auction. Stumbling over words, like nah, I ain't say that. Yeah, we fell for your old games, but nowadays we don't play that. Everywhere's where I pray at. I need my kingdom like ASAP. Can't stand for a lie, so the truth is where I lay at. They put an X on our back.
Why?
Cause they evil, they worried about what we do.
Why?
Cause we Hebrews praying for Israel from the tropicals to the igloos. Not going to say who beneath who and who equal, but if you follow the commandments, then all y'all my people. Watch what you say to us, your behind will be sheep food. Bye bye to Babylon, is what I say while I leave you. And I'ma keep it poppin' cause my pop said I need to.
Now I'ma do the work till the end come. Tell 'em. Now I'ma do the work till the end come. Tell 'em. Until my father say stop it, I'm gon' keep it poppin'. Until my father say stop it, I'm gon' keep it poppin'. Now I'm gon' do the work till the end come. Yeah. Now I'ma do the work till the end come. Yeah. Now I'ma do the work till the end come. Tryna get paid and so.
Come. All praise to the Most High. We are the brothers of the house of the redeemed servant. We just want to take this opportunity to finish on this series dealing with Moses. And before we get started, I want to get Colossians 3:17. I want to take the opportunity to salute our Savior and his dear Father.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. And it reads, and whatsoever ye do, in word or deed, do all by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua, given through water to the Elohim and the Abanawa Yahweh, by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua.
Come. We're going to give all praises to our Savior, who the world English calls Jesus Christ, but we're going to call him by his Hebrew name, which is Hamashiach Yahushua, by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua.
That's right.
All right. So we want to take this opportunity to salute the elders. Salute. We salute all the elders that's out here doing the hard work and bringing forth this truth. All praises to our Savior and his Father Yahweh, and to the nation of Israel. That's all 12 tribes of Israel. All praise to the Most High. So what we're dealing with here is we're continuing the story of Moses. We found out in the last series that Moses rejected an Ethiopian woman. And, this is another rise to someone who might have a problem with the book of Jasher. But see, the book of Jasher also addresses this issue. Why? Because Miriam spoke against Moses for actually marrying an Ethiopian woman. So we're going to go into the Bible and we're going to read that. Let's start at Exodus chapter 12. Salaki, Numbers chapter 12. We're going to start at verse 1. The book of Numbers chapter 12. We got to go through this critical information and showing that the book of Jasher is lining up with the Bible. We're going to get continued parallels with the Bible as we go out through this series. We're dealing with the historical history of Moses when he was in the wilderness. All right. So we're going to start this thing off with Miriam speaking against Moses. Then we're going to get the history in the book of Jasher. You got it? Come on.
Numbers chapter 12 verse 1.
Bring it out.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married.
Because of who?
The Ethiopian woman whom he had married.
Read on.
For he had married an Ethiopian woman. Verse 2. And they said, hath the Most High indeed spoken only by Moses? Had he not spoken also by us?
Time. All right, so now, we wanted to get the significance and importance of Miriam. And why did he speak against her? Because he married an Ethiopian woman. Well, we went to the book of Jasher and we found out that Moses actually rejected a woman because he knew the history of his forefathers. All right? So we're going to go into the book of Jasher and read about this account. All right? We're going to pick back up and 73. All right? Read that. 73. And we're going to start at verse 31. 73. Come on, come. See, because we're going to get this history, and we're going to see if this book of Jasher lines up with the Bible, and then we're going to get the understanding of why he married this Ethiopian woman, and was it the same woman that he had rejected? We're going to find out. 73 and 31. Bring it out.
The book of Jasher. Page 73.
Chapter 73.
Shalaki, chapter 73. 31. We're going to start at 31.
Okay.
And it reads, and they placed the royal crown upon his head, and they gave him for a wife Adoniah, the Cushite queen, wife of Kikianus. 32. Kikianus.
All right, so now we found out that in the Cushites are the Ethiopians. We just read in the Bible that Miriam spoke against Moses for marrying an Ethiopian. But let's see what the book says here. Come on.
32. And Moses feared the Most High Yahweh.
He did what?
He feared the Most High Yahweh.
Read on.
Of his fathers.
Of who?
Of his fathers.
I thought he was an Egyptian.
Of his fathers.
Read on.
So that came not to her, nor did he turn his eyes to her. 33. For Moses remembered how Abraham had made his servant Eliezer swear.
Now he forgot.
How he made his servant Eliezer swear.
Moses remembered.
Shalaki. For Moses remembered.
He what?
He remembered.
No, that's that old stuff.
For Moses remembered.
That's back in the day. Let's forget about it.
For Moses remembered.
Read on.
How Abraham had made his servant Eliezer swear.
Read on.
Saying unto him, thou shalt not take a woman from the daughters of Canaan.
Understand that. That was from his forefathers. Read on.
For my son Isaac. 34. Also, what Isaac did when Jacob had fled from his brother, when he commanded him, saying, thou shalt not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan.
So now he's reflecting on the history, family, of his memory of his forefathers. And then giving you accounts where we rejected these other nations. Understand that. Let's go.
Nor make alliance with any of the children of Ham. 35. For the Most High, our Elohim, gave him the son of Noah.
He did what?
He gave him the son of Noah.
Read on.
And his children and all his seed as slaves to the children of Shem and to the children of Japheth, and unto their seed after them for slaves forever.
Now, you would ask yourself as a Hamite, why would the Most High do this? You have to understand what Ham did. He slept with his father's wife. So therefore, it spawned an inherent wickedness within them. All right? So now, we have found that Moses, all right, as we can see, was given an Ethiopian woman. All right? Now, 1 second here. We're going to read on.
Uh, 36. Therefore Moses turned not his heart nor his eyes to the wife of Kikianus all the days that he reigned over Cush.
So he said he never turned his eyes. Read it again.
Therefore Moses turned not his heart nor his eyes to the wife of Kikanis, all the days that reigned over Cush.
All right, so now we have a scenario here where Moses did not put his eyes or even take this woman and lay with her the entire time he was there. All right. So now as we go into the history, we're going to find out that this woman took vengeance on Moses, and we're going to see how, which leads to him coming into contact with Jethro, all right, and how the story of him marrying an Ethiopian came about. All right, let's go.
37. And Moses feared the Most High, his Elohim, all his life.
Now he didn't know him.
And Moses feared the Most High, his Elohim, all his life.
Read on.
And Moses walked before the Most High in truth.
Now this is prior to being with the children of Israel. This is prior to being with the children of Israel. So now it says that he feared the Most High, which means he knew that he existed. Come on.
With all his heart and soul, he turned not from right. Shalaki, he turned not from the right way all the days of his life. He declined not from the way either to the right or to the left, in which Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob had walked. 38. And Moses strengthened himself in the kingdom of the children of Cush. And he guided the children of Cush with his usual wisdom. And Moses prospered in his kingdom. 39. And at the time, Aram, the children of the east, heard that Kikanis, king of Cush, had died. So Aram and the children of the east rebelled against Cush in those days.
All right, so now let's drop down here. We're going to be picking up with Moses. We found out that he rejected the Ethiopian woman, and then we're going to find out what came in between him rejecting that woman and his sister and brother accusing him for marrying an Ethiopian woman. Let's get it. Chapter verse. We're going to start there.
The book of Jasher, chapter 76, verse 2. And all the children of Cush loved Moses all the days that he reigned over them, and all the inhabitants of the land of Cush were greatly afraid of him.
So now we have dispelled the rumor that Moses was just some damn sheep herder in the desert somewhere just twiddling his thumbs while the children of Israel was suffering. No, he was reigning king and preparing himself to come back to help the children of Israel.
That's right.
We understand that we get these experiences is what makes the difference, family. So we had to experience rulership in order to prepare him for leadership in the nation of Israel. Come on.
Verse 3. And in the 40th year of the reign of Moses over Cush, Moses was sitting on the royal throne, whistle Adana. The queen was before him, and all the nobles were sitting around him. And Adana the queen said before the king and the princes, What is this thing which you, the children of Cush, have done for this long time? Surely you know that the 40 years that this man has reigned over Cush, he has not approached me, nor has he served the gods of the children of Cush.
So now she was mad because he had not approached her. See that? He didn't want to have nothing to do with her. Okay? So she was upset about that and had raised up a coup, so to speak, to have him uprooted. The brother got impeached. All right, so we're going to find this out. And she spoke, and her son was coming of age at this time because many years had went by. Many years had went by. He reigned as king when he turned 27, right?
Yes, sir.
When he turned 27, he reigned as king. And he didn't stop being king until he was in his 60s. So he had not touched her for that many years. And she was very upset about it. All right? So now, let's read on.
Verse 6. Now therefore hear, O ye children of Cush, and let this man no more reign over you, as he is not of our flesh. Behold, Menacrus, my son, is grown up. Let him reign over you, for it is better for you to serve the son of your Lord than to serve a stranger. Salaki, to serve a stranger, slave, or the king of Egypt. And all the people and nobles of the children of Cush heard the words which Adonai the queen had spoken in their ears. And all the people were preparing unto the evening, and in the morning they rose up early and made Menacrus, son of Cacanus, king over them. Verse 10. And all the children of Cush were afraid to stretch forth their hand against Moses.
Again, they was afraid to stretch forth their hands against Moses, and they greatly loved Moses. Moses had delivered them the same way that Joseph delivered the Egyptians. See? So Moses delivered them and now have faced himself in a situation where the Most High is starting to bring him out of that situation to prepare him to lead the children of Israel. Come on.
And the children of Cush were afraid to stretch forth their hands against Moses. For the Most High was with Moses. And the children of Cush remembered the oath which they swore unto Moses. Therefore they did no harm to him.
God.
Verse 11. But the children of Cush gave many presents to Moses, and sent him from them with great honor.
With what?
With great honor.
With great honor. Read.
So Moses went forth from the land of Cush, and went home, and ceased to reign over Cush. And Moses was 66 years old when he went out of the land of Cush.
Chapter and verse.
Chapter 76, verse 12.
Now how old was he?
66 years old when he went out of the land of Cush.
All right, so now Moses found himself in a situation. All right? The situation was now he's leaving the place where he has established himself. And now you're going to find out, it's going to start picking up the parallels with the Bible. Understand that. All right? So now we had got that missing history of the time of Moses in the desert. What desert? The land of Cush. Understand that. All right? So now he was how old?
66
years old. Now let's go.
When he went out of the land of Cush. For the thing was from the Most High. For the period had arrived which he had appointed in the days of old, to bring forth Israel from the affliction of the children of Ham.
All right, so now, to bring forth Israel from the affliction of Ham. Now we're going to go into the Bible, and we're going to see if the Bible story lines up with what we're about to read. All right? So we're going to go to Exodus chapter 2. Exodus chapter 2. All right? And we're going to get the story after Moses left. And then we're going to go back into the book of Jasher to see if these things line up. Let's go.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 1. And it reads, And there went a man.
Hold on one second. Come on, family. Let's mute your phones, those that are on the conference call. Mute your phones. We got some feedback there. Come on.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 1. And it reads, And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took a wife, a daughter of Levi. Verse 2. And the woman conceived.
Salaki, that's not what I want. Jump down to verse 16.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 16. And it reads, Now the priest of Midian and 7 daughters, and they came and drew water.
He had 7 daughters? Read it again.
Yeah. Verse 16. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters,
There you go.
and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. Verse 17. And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. 18. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, How is it that ye are come soon today? Come so soon today.
Read on.
Verse 19. And they said, An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock. Verse 20. And he said unto his daughters, And where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread. 21. And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter. Verse 22. And she bare him a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in the strange land. 23.
All right, and that's it on that. So now we're going to go into the book of Jasher and see if the book of Jasher has a different story. All right, it's going to be the same story that's lining up with the Bible, but it's going to give you detailed information, background information, in between the duration of the time that he had delivered them from the hands of and got the daughters water, in between that time and the time that she had bore him a son. We're going to go into that history. All right, come on.
The book of Jasher, chapter 76, verse 13. So Moses went to Midian, for he was afraid to return to Egypt on account of Pharaoh. And he went and sat at the well of water in Midian. And the seven daughters of Reuel.
How many?
7 daughters of Reuel.
The same daughters, the same story here. Let's go.
Of Reuel the Midianite went out to feed their father's flock. And they came to the well and drew water to water their father's flock. Verse 16. So the shepherds of Midian came and drove them away. And Moses rose up and helped them and watered the flock. And they came home to their father Reuel.
Same story, family. Same story. Come on.
And told him what Moses did for them.
Right. Read on.
Verse 18. And they said,
Bring it out.
An Egyptian man.
Who?
An Egyptian man
Read on.
has delivered us from the hands of the shepherds.
Now, same story, family. Now, we just read it in the Bible. Now we're reading it here. But it's going to be some detailed information and background information that was not delivered in the Bible that is going to help us understand this story. And why did he marry this woman? Let's go.
He drew up water for us and watered the flock. Verse 19. And Reuel said to his daughters, And where is he? Wherefore have you left the man? And Reuel sent for him and fetched him and brought him home, and he ate bread with him. And Moses related to Reuel that he had fled from Egypt, and that he reigned 40 years over Cush, and that they afterward had taken the government from him, and had sent him away in peace with honor and with presents.
We see now. So now we have the story, and he told what had happened during the time of his life. He said that he left Egypt, and when he left Egypt, he joined an army, And when he joined that army, he ended up becoming king and reigning over the Cushites. He just explained this to Raul. Understand that. So now, something's going to happen. Let's go.
Verse 22. And when Raul had heard the words of Moses, Raul said within himself, I will put this man into the prison house, whereby I shall consolate the children of Cush, for he has fled from them. And they took and put him into the prison house, and Moses was in prison 10 years.
Wow. Wow. See that, family? What we missed that here in the Bible here. We missed the 10-year imprisonment. Where is it at? See? So we're getting critical information here on the background, detailed information on the history of Moses. So he said, I'm going to imprison this man because he running from the Cushites, so I'm going to try to do something to please them. See? I mean, hey, I imprisoned a man that escaped from you. Because he said that they sent him away in peace, but this man thought within himself that, no, you're running, so I'm going to imprison you. And he was in prison for 10 years. And so now, there was a certain woman, this man's daughter, who done things for Moses. Helped him when he was down and out. When no one was helping him. When there was no Israelite women anywhere. All right? This woman showed kindness to Moses, and we're going to get this story here. Come on.
Verse 23. And they took and put him into the prison house, and Moses was in prison 10 years.
How long?
10 years.
Read on.
And while Moses was in the prison house, Zipporah, the daughter of Raul, took pity over him and supported him with bread and water all the time.
Exactly. So now we're finding out that Zipporah showed kindness unto Moses. All right? So let us not forget, family, that Joseph married an Egyptian. Let's not forget that. Understand that he knew the history of his family. But yet he took the kindness from what Pharaoh has showed Joseph, and he took the woman to be his wife. Understand that. Now understand this. The 12 tribes of Israel spawned from Egyptian women. Understand that. Also, Abraham took Hagar to be his wife, an Egyptian. All right? So, don't be, Moses did this, but it was a reason that he done it. Because, again, he was alone, away from his Israelite brethren, all right, and in prison, all right, for 10 years. And so this woman showed kindness. The same woman that it tells us in the Bible here, at Exodus chapter 2, verse 21, and Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter, the same daughter that showed kindness unto him, family. Now we're gonna get the continued story here. You ready? Pick back up where he left off at, all right?
Verse 25.
Right.
Verse 24. And all the children of Yasharallah were yet in the land of Egypt, serving the Egyptians in all manner of hard work.
Right.
And the hand of Egypt continued in servitude over the children of Yasharallah in those days. 25. At that time, the Most High smote Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he afflicted with the plague of leprosy from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head.
Wow.
Owing to the cruel treatment of the children of Yasharallah was this plague at that time from the Most High upon Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Verse 26. But the Most High had hearkened to the prayer of his people, the children of Yasharallah.
He did what?
For the Most High had hearkened to the prayer of his people, the children of Yasharallah.
That's right.
And their cry reached him on account of their hard work.
Right.
27. Still his anger did not turn from them.
All right, so now we're going to get this also in the Bible here. Exodus chapter 2, verse 24 and 25. Come on.
Verse 24. And the Most High heard their groaning.
Again, the Bible and the book of Jasher are in agreement. Understand that. Come on.
And Yahweh remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. Verse 25. And the Most High looked upon the children of Yasharallah, and the Most High had respect unto them. Chapter 3.
That's it on that. All right. So now we're going to go back to the book of Jasher. All right. You ready? Disproving that these things are lining up, family. We have to understand that. All we're doing is getting the history. All right? Wake me up when the book of Jasher says Hamashiach Yahushua is not the king. Wake me up when it says we don't need to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. All right? What we're doing, family, is using the spirit of discernment to be able to make sure these things are lining up. All right? So if there's a discrepancy, all right, we're going to go with the Bible. But understand that these things are critical background information that you wouldn't otherwise have. Knowing that the Bible legitimizes the book of Jasher. Come on.
Verse 27, book of Jasher.
Bring it out.
Still his anger did not turn from them, and the hand of Pharaoh was still stretched out against the children of Yasharallah, and Pharaoh hardened his neck before the Most High, and he increased his yoke over the children of Yasharallah, and embittered their lives with all manner of hard work. 28. And when the Most High had inflicted the plague upon Pharaoh, king of Egypt, he asked his wise men and sorcerers to cure him. 29. And his wise men and sorcerers said unto him, that if the blood of little children were put into the wounds, he would be healed.
Wow.
30. And Pharaoh hearkened to him, and sent his ministers to Goshen, to the children of Yasharallah, to take their little children.
Goshen.
To Goshen, to the children of Yasharallah, to take their little children.
Wow. So again, they're looking to take. Why they keep killing our children, man? No different from you today. No different from you people today. Your children are being killed.
That's right.
Look at the situation what's going on in D.C. Look at what happened in Ferguson. Look at Trayvon Martin. They're killing your children today. And they keep coming down to take the blood of the children of Israel. But this is not going to continue. Understand that, family. But back to the book.
31. And Pharaoh's ministers went and took the infants of the children of Yasharallah from the bosoms of their mothers by force.
What?
And they brought them to Pharaoh daily, a child each day, and the physicians killed them and applied them to the plague. Thus did they all the days. 32. And the number of the children which Pharaoh slew was 375.
Wow.
33.
And you running around here wanting to be an Egyptian. You want to say the hell with this history here. The hell with what they have done to our people. Well, you might as well say the hell with what's going on in you today.
That's right.
You might as well call yourself a white man. Understand that, man. So now, if you have feeling a certain type of way about your children being killed today, you should feel a certain kind of way about your children being killed yesterday, in the past years. Understand that, man. These things happened to the children of Israel.
We ain't going to just sweep these things under the rug. We're not going to forget about it. The Bible says, remember the days of old. Understand that. Let's go.
33. But the Most High hearkened not to the physicians of the king of Egypt, and the plague went on increasing mightily. 34. And Pharaoh was 10 years afflicted with that plague. Still the heart of Pharaoh was more hardened against the children of Yasharallah. 35. And at the end of 10 years, the Most High continued to afflict Pharaoh with destructive plagues. 30.
So again, as you can see, the Most High is fighting for his people. No different than the Most High fight for you. They kill us in the streets. The Most High send a tornado down their houses. Okay? No sooner than they kill our people in the street, the Most High send a flood down their houses. Understand that. The Most High is fighting still to this very day for us, man.
That's right.
Understand that, family. So we have to be aware of the power that we're dealing with of the Most High, man. He loves us. It's up to us to love him. We got to come back to him, family. But let's get back to the book.
36. And the Most High smote him with a bad tumor and sickness at the stomach, and that plague turned to a severe boil. 37. At that
Again, so now the Most High sent, which they call it a plague, which was a boil, which was a sickness. So no sooner than they shoot us in the streets, the Most High is sending cancer to them. No sooner than they shoot us down in the street, the Most High is sending death and diseases to them. While they steady pouring death and diseases on us, the Most High power is pouring death and diseases on them. When you look at the reposition, when you look at the chart, all right, the reproductive chart, our people are reproducing more than theirs, even though we are greatly oppressed by them. Understand that. The Most High is fighting in ways that you couldn't even imagine, bringing certain plagues and illnesses upon them. But you can't see it. And you running around talking about, where is God? Where is God? When he's fighting for you every day. Simple Negro. Let's go.
37. At that time, the two ministers of Pharaoh came from the land of Goshen, where all the children of Yasharallah were, and went to the house of Pharaoh and said to him, we have seen the children of Yasharallah slacking in their work and negligent in their labor. 38. And when Pharaoh heard the words of his ministers, his anger was kindled against the children of Yasharallah exceedingly, for he was greatly grieved at his bodily pain, Shalagi.
Bring it out.
39. And he answered and said, now that the children of Yasharallah know that I am ill, they turned and scoffed at us. Now, therefore...
They did what?
They turned and scoffed at us. Now, therefore, harness my chariot for me, and I will betake myself to Goshen, and will see the scoff of the children of Yasharallah, with which they are deriding me.
Right.
Deriding me, Shalaki. So his servants harnessed the chariot for him. 40. And they took and made him ride upon a horse, for he was not able to ride of himself. 41. And he took with him 10 horsemen and 10 footmen, and went to the children of Yasharallah to Goshen. 42. And when they had come to the border of Egypt, the king's horse passed into a narrow place, elevated in the hollow part of the vineyard, fenced on both sides, the low, plain country being on the other side. 43. And the horse ran rapidly in that place and pressed each other. And the other horses pressed the king's horse. 44. And the king's horse fell into the low plain whilst the king was riding upon it. And when he fell, the chariot turned over the king's face, and the horse lay upon the king. And the king cried out.
79 and 23. Right there.
77 and 23.
77 and 23. Come on.
But they increased the latter work more than the former. And the children of Yasharallah sighed at this, and their cry ascended to the Most High on account of their labor. And the Most High heard the voice of the children of Yasharallah and their cry in those days, and the Most High remembered to them his covenant which he had made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Which is exactly what we read in Exodus chapter 2, verse 25. Come on.
Verse 25. And the Most High saw the burden of the children of Yasharallah and their heavy work in those days, and he determined to deliver them. And Moses, the son of Amram, was still confined in the dungeon in those days, in the house of Reuel the Midianite, and Zipporah, the daughter of Reuel, did support him with food secretly, day by day. And Moses was confined in the dungeon in the house of Reuel for 10 years. And at the end of 10 years, which was the first year of the reign of Pharaoh over Egypt, in the place of his father. Verse 29. Zipporah said to her father Reuel, no person inquires or seeks after the Hebrew man.
After who?
After the Hebrew man.
After the Hebrew man.
That's
Understand
right.
that.
Whom they didst bind in prison, now 10 years. Now therefore, if it seem good in thy sight, let us send and see whether he is living or dead. But her father knew not that she had supported him. Verse 31. And Reuel, her father, answered and said to her, has ever such a thing happened that a man should be shut up in a prison without food for 10 years, and that he should live? And Zipporah answered her father, saying, surely thou hast heard that the Most High of the Hebrews,
Of who?
of the Hebrews,
Of who?
of the Hebrews,
Of the Hebrews. Go ahead.
is great and awful. And
Great and what?
and awful.
Great and awful. Understand that. Come on.
And does wonders for them at all times.
For who?
For them.
For who?
For them.
For them. Go ahead.
At all times.
At all times. Come on.
Verse 33. He it was who delivered Abraham from Ur of the Chaldeans, and Isaac from the sword of his father,
Again, our history being quoted. Come on.
and Jacob from the angel of the Most High, who wrestled with him at the ford of Jabbok. Also with this man has he done many things. He delivered him from the river of Egypt, and from the sword of Pharaoh,
God.
and from the children of Cush. So also can he deliver him from famine and make him live.
God.
And the thing seemed good to the sight of Reuel, and he did accordingly to the word of his daughter, and sent to the dungeon to ascertain what become of Moses.
Now, again, we are trying to figure out how did Moses go from rejecting an Ethiopian woman to marrying one, right? So we found out that this man was in a dungeon in prison for 10 years. with no food or water. And this woman, Zipporah, supported him. All praises to the Most High. Understand that. So this probably would bring a little sensitivity to a woman, that she would do all that. Not only that, but battled and spoke strongly for Moses, and said, and quoted our history, family, and knew of the great things that the Heavenly Father have done for the children of Israel.
That's right.
So of course, certain sensitivity would come to a woman like this. Let's go.
In verse 36, and he saw, and behold, the man Moses was living in the dungeon, standing upon his feet, praising and praying to the Most High of his ancestors. And Raul commanded Moses to be brought out of the dungeon. So they shaved him, and he changed his prison garments and ate bread. And afterward Moses went into the garden of Raul, which was behind the house, and he there prayed to the Most High, his Elohim, who had done mighty wonders for him.
God.
And it was that whilst he prayed, he looked opposite to him, and behold, a sapphire stick was placed in the ground, which was planted in the midst of the garden. And he approached the stick, and he looked, and behold, the name of the Most High, the Elohim of hosts, was engraved therein.
The
thereon.
name of the Most High. Understand that.
Written and developed upon the stick. And he read it, and stretched forth his hands, and he plucked it like a forest tree from the thicket, and the stick was in his hand. And this is the stick with which all the works of our Elohim were performed, after he had created heaven and earth, and all the host of them, seas, rivers, and all their fishes. Verse 43, and when the Most High had driven Adam from the Garden of Eden, he took the stick in his hand, and went and tilled the ground from which he was taken, and tilled the ground from which he was taken. And the stick came down to Noah, and was given to Shem and his descendants. Unto it came into the hand of Abraham the Hebrew.
God.
And when Abraham had given all he had to his son Isaac, he also gave to him this stick. And when Jacob had fled to Padan Aram, he took it into his hand. And when he returned to his father, he had not left it behind him. Also, when he went down to Egypt, he took it into his hand and gave it to Joseph, one portion above his brethren, for Jacob had taken it by force from his brother Esau.
God.
And after the death of Joseph, the nobles of Egypt came into the house of Joseph, and the stick came into the hand of Raul the Midianite. And when he went out of Egypt, he took it in his hand and planted it in his garden. And all the mighty men of the Kenites tried to pluck it when they endeavored to get Zipporah his daughter, but they were unsuccessful. So that stick remained planted in the garden of Raul until he came who had a right to it and took it. And when Raul saw the stick in the hand of Moses, he wondered at it, and he gave him his daughter Zipporah for a wife.
Woo! Understand that, man.
So now we're getting the critical information on what happened with Moses' situation dealing with Raul and Zipporah. All right? So let's not get simple and say, oh, well, brother, we can go outside of our nation now. Understand that this was strenuous situations. All right. So now we want to make sure that we promote to the nation, you viewers who are watching, that we are in full support of staying within our own nation. It's very important because you have found yourself in this land and you're looking for ways to move away from your nation. This is not what this story is about. We're just showing the legitimacy of the book of Jasher and showing the history and the background story of Moses. To understand why would he find himself in a situation where he would take a woman of another nation. In this particular situation, this scenario, which was a strenuous situation. So we're going to get a little bit more of this and then we're going to close that. Come on.
Chapter 78, verse 1.
Drop down to verse 7.
Verse 7. In those days, Moses, the son of Amram, in Midian, took Zipporah, the daughter of Reuel the Midianite, for a wife. And Zipporah walked in the ways of the daughters of Jacob. She was nothing short of the righteousness of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah.
Wow. Wow, let's go.
Verse 9. And Zipporah conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Gershom. For he said, I was a stranger in a foreign land. But he circumcised not his foreskin at the command of Reuel, his father-in-law. And she conceived again and bare a son, but circumcised his foreskin, and called his name Eliezer. For Moses said, because the Most High of my fathers was my help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Pharaoh, king of Egypt, greatly increased the labor of the children of Yasharallah in those days, and continued to make his yoke heavier upon the children of Yasharallah. Verse 12. And he ordered a proclamation to be made in Egypt, saying, give no more straw to the people to make brick with. Let them go and gather themselves straw as they can find it. Also, the tale of bricks which they shall make, let them give each day, and diminish nothing from them, for they are idle in their work.
Come.
So all praises to the Most High, man, on this powerful information. We're just going to get in the background story on Moses. As we continue on to build and bring forth this information, we just want to, go into the historical records and bring out the information. So you found out that Moses kept his law, statutes, and commandments when it came to the first Ethiopian woman that was offered to him. All right, then Moses found himself in a strenuous situation, in prison, with no help, no one looking for him, no one coming to help. But the Most High sent Zipporah in the spirit of our foremothers, Sarah, Rachel, Leah. See? So the Most High has the power to deliver us. Ultimately, this is what we're saying. We're going to continue to bring out this powerful information. Pray for the house of the redeemed servant as we bring forth information in the spirit of the Most High power and his dear son, Hamashiach Yahushai, by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. And when we say, and with that we say, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Barakathon, Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.
Kwam Yasharallah. Kwam Yasharallah. Kwam Yasharallah. Kwam Yasharallah. No.
Tell 'em I'm gonna do the work to the income. Yeah. Okay. We gonna do the work to the income. Tell 'em.
I do a lot of preaching, but I don't do no talking. Found out I was a lion, now I don't do no barking. They want me in the dirt, chained in a stone coffin. But face to face, then they get to talking like it's an auction. Stumbling over words like, nah, I ain't say that. Yeah, we fell for your old games, but nowadays we don't play that. Everywhere's where I pray at. I need my kingdom like